Today we're going to be checking out 3 true Backrooms horror stories.
I'm Jensen, and
Okay.
3 months ago I made the biggest mistake of my life.
What happened, buddy?
I went to a friend's sleepover party where everyone watched videos about the famous elevator game.
Scary
Though the
game,
night
bro.
ended with fun and jokes, the weird game ritual stuck in my mind longer than it should have. So, once I came home, I was dying to try it out. We live in an old 13-storied building. Our apartment was on the ground floor.
Damn, bottom
There
floor.
weren't many residents in our building, so I had the perfect opportunity to conduct the elevator game ritual without being disturbed
I
by
could
any
never,
other
bro.
tenants.
It
It was
never.
a quiet Sunday night. My dad passed out on the couch after heavy drinking, and my mom was at her friend's house. Making the most of this situation,
Creeping
I
out, bro.
tiptoed outside and came to the lobby.
My boy's tiptoeing in
Heavy
his
rain
Jordans,
and
bro.
blowing wind were making the lobby windows tremble from time to time. I grabbed my phone and walked to the elevator at the end of the corridor. I pressed the button and the elevator door slid open,
I'm good.
making the usual ring.
I'm good.
Should I do this?
No.
Man,
No.
can't believe I'm doing this.
Let's go with this. All right,
Entered the elevator and closed the door. I won't be explaining the ritual in detail because it works.
Okay.
And I don't want anyone else to make the same mistake I made.
I would never anyway.
Just for some context, let me tell you that after pressing a certain number in a particular order,
You
the
end up in a
final
different
floor
world.
you're supposed to
Like
get
a
on is the
different-
5th.
like
And from
a-
there, people say a woman
yeah,
enters
you
the
see her,
elevator
yeah.
with you.
Don't talk to her.
So I did as I heard. I pressed the number of floors
If
for
you
the
talk to-
elevator,
if you talk to
started
her,
going to each floor,
you're
and
done.
opened to a view of a dimly lit empty lobby. When it was time to reach the 5th floor, I chickened out in fear. Thinking there was still time to stop and back out from this ominous game, I pressed the stop button, and the elevator stopped between floors 3 and 4.
I'm
I heard
freaking
my
out right now.
breathing going faster. Damn it!
Yeah, bro.
I regretted
It's over.
being so stupid and pressed the ground floor button
It's
to go
over.
back to my room. The elevator started going down, and I felt a little relieved that somehow I managed to break the chain.
You didn't.
But little did I know, when the number plate reached the ground floor, the elevator stopped with a sudden jerk.
Oh, no.
At
Bro.
first, I thought the elevator went out of order because of my experiment.
No.
So I went to press the alarm in panic.
It
But
didn't
then,
work.
the door suddenly opened.
Woman.
And they opened to a dark, hollow space. I
My
kid
boy
you
is
not.
in level 1.
Outside the elevator, there was nothing but pitch black
He's in
darkness.
level 1, bro.
I immediately pressed the door closing button,
Holy
but it
shit.
didn't work. Drops of sweat gathered on my forehead. What have I done?
Holy.
What is this place?
My man is trapped
Am I
in
in
the
some
back
other
rooms.
dimension? I screamed. Hello?
Wow.
Anybody out there? But I only heard my voice reverberate.
I think it's like...
Suddenly, a few lights
Yeah.
flickered, and one by one,
Yeah.
the lights turned on.
I think on level 1,
revealing
it's
an
just you.
unknown floor which looked more like an office back room. There were yellow walls and a soggy
boy's
wet
in the
floor.
back rooms.
A reeking smell of dampness and rotten filled my lungs. Am I to the basement?
No, bro.
This must be the basement. I've
No,
never been to the
stay
basement
on
of
the
our
elevator.
building, though.
Stay on
The
the
elevator was obviously out of order, so I decided to look for the stairs. I stepped out of the elevator, which was my mistake,
Yep.
number 2.
And it's shot back up,
I
right?
started walking through the pale yellow back room. It was
Mark your
empty.
start, mark your
There
start.
wasn't even a single piece of furniture, not even a dustbin or a mop around. Just vast, empty space.
Wow.
With every step I took ahead, I turned back to see how small and distant the elevator was getting from
It's
me.
gonna go away, bro.
After walking like this for
Oh,
God
no.
knows how many minutes, I suddenly saw this woman. She was sitting on the floor, blocking my way.
Are you okay?
Her back faced me so I couldn't see her face.
I'd
Her
run.
body was trembling, and a creepy whimpering sound was
I'd go the
taking
other way, bro.
place. She was crying.
On God, I'm going the other way.
Ma'am? Excuse me? Thinking she didn't hear me, I called out a little louder this
I
time.
gotta go, bro.
Ma'am? Are you all right?
Nope. She's
Her
not.
crying stopped.
I am sorry.
What? Why?
Please forgive me.
Oh no.
I started feeling creeped out.
Oh,
What are
no.
you saying? I've never met you before. Why are you apologizing?
I'm confused right
I'm
now.
sorry for wanting to have your blood
Oh,
all
Jesus
over
Christ.
What?
Yo.
I felt my stomach drop.
Bruh.
My voice started to die down in my heart. The woman slowly got up without turning around.
She kind of tall.
And then the lights went out. What the? The entire place turned pitch
My
black
boy's
again.
done, bro.
What's happening?
You're done.
And just then, the lights were back on. But
she was
one
right in front
thing
of
was
you?
different. Now, the woman was
shit.
arching behind, staring at me from upside down.
Bro, this is like some
Her hands
Exorcist.
didn't touch the floor, though, because she had no hands.
Holy shit.
Yes, she only had the upper torso, followed by her skinny legs.
Wow.
She wore a white midi dress with stains on it. I can't explain how horrifying her body
Bro.
looked in that position.
Bro.
She started laughing
Bro. Get me out.
hysterically while
I'm
being
good.
arched like that.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm sorry for what I'm about to do to you.
I'm
And then she started running towards me at full speed while
Wow.
being arched at the back.
like, what do you do?
Ah!
What do you do?
Here I come.
Yeah, dude.
She was chasing me
don't
down
even know
like
what
a
to do.
distorted hop frog.
I wouldn't know what to do.
I ran while gagging and panting for breath.
What do you do?
All I wanted was
What
to
do you
find
do?
the elevator and slam inside it.
What do you do?
I could hear her stomping footsteps
you do?
echoing with her harrowing laughter. I
I'm
feared
freaking
to
out.
look back because stumbling at that moment would have been worst. The lights began flickering and heavy winds started blowing inside that closed place.
What do you do?
All the yellow world started dripping black, thick liquid. Even the ceilings above my head were licking, too. I felt like I will drown in this hell and will never be able to get out.
Like, what do you
The
do?
woman's laughter got closer to me with each second. My legs were about to give up.
My
I
legs
was
are about
just
to give up.
running from one end to the other end of the back room, as if I was in a maze. I thought, I will never get out of this infinite space. Claustrophobia started to settle in, and just then, I heard the elevator ding.
Go.
Finally,
Go.
I found it.
Go, go, go.
Standing at the other end, the elevator was my only chance to
Go.
live. But the
Run.
doors now have started to close.
Oh,
I could see them
shit.
coming close to each other, and my chance for surviving, for escaping this hell started narrowing down each second.
You gotta go.
The woman screamed from
She's
behind.
still on it, bro.
You can't escape. It's about time.
Looks like he's about to escape, though.
But I gathered all of my courage.
Joke's on you.
All of my strength. I screamed to myself. You can do this, Jensen. You're not gonna die in this time loop. Run! Run faster! I never ran this fastest in my entire life.
And he made it on the
By
elevator.
an inch, my body passed the closing doors and I got
Wow.
in. I stumbled and fell inside the elevator out of reflex, and the doors closed behind me. I don't remember what happened
So
after that.
lucky.
2 days later, when I woke up in my bed, I saw my mom and dad sitting
Bro.
near me with worried faces. I came to know that my dad heard my
I'm
scream from
freaking
my
out.
room and went to check in, but he didn't find me there.
Yeah, 'cause
So
you
we
weren't
came
there.
out to the lobby, and that's when the elevator door opened on our floor.
Wow.
He was shocked and surprised to see me lying unconscious inside the elevator. He still had no idea how he could hear my scream when I was not even in the apartment.
Bro.
After a terrible fever, when I finally got onto my feet, my parents asked me what exactly happened to me
I
that
was in the
night.
back rooms. That's what
I
happened.
told them I got stuck while riding the elevator for fun and panicked once it started malfunctioning. I never told them about this woman in the backroom space where I mistook to be our apartment basement.
Bad play. That actually scared me. Not gonna lie.
Have you ever heard of the Backrooms?
I have.
The place is a parallel universe that we can all access while we sleep,
Okay.
whether we want to or not. In this video, we will know the story of a young man who got too close to the Backrooms
Way too close.
and his worst mistake, was to believe he was alone.
Oh no.
Ah, the backrooms. Few internet mysteries have haunted me as much as the backrooms. For as long as I can remember, I've seen a lot of creepypastas and unbelievable internet stories.
Yep.
But when I heard the story of the backrooms, I knew it was real.
It's scary,
I knew
bro.
I had to know that place.
Looks like someone who would want to go to
For
the
all
Backrooms.
those who don't know,
Sorry.
have you ever dreamed of a
Sorry.
labyrinth with a bunch of yellow offices that led to nowhere?
No.
Ever felt the smell of wet carpet in a dream?
Nope.
You may not even remember it, but you may have been there.
Maybe.
Many people enter the backrooms. What not many people know is that if the dream is too deep, very few make it out. Man, I swear I've been in there. I've been in the backrooms. Are you sure it worked for you? Like me, Diego, my best friend, was also obsessed with the idea of getting into the backrooms.
Why though?
So when he told me he got in 2 nights in a
Why?
row, I was shocked. Yeah, it's easier than you think. You just kind of have to think about it as much as you can when you go to sleep, and you'll be there.
I'm good.
But how do you know about it if you're sleeping? Easy. You just have to have sleep paralysis. When you have sleep paralysis, you're half asleep and half awake, so you can think more rationally. I don't know, man.
No.
Isn't it dangerous?
No.
Paralysis makes dreams much deeper.
No. I'm
Well,
good.
look at me. I'm here and nothing has happened. I guess you're right.
Not really, but
I admit that when I tried to have a sleep paralysis that night, I was terrified.
yeah.
But that wasn't
It's
going
not
to stop
fun.
me from meeting the back rooms. I did everything I could to make it happen. I ate a lot and went to bed quickly, leaving the TV on at high volume. At bedtime, I followed every step Diego had given me, and after just the first try, I was in the back rooms. I
Bad
knew
boy.
I was dreaming, but at the
Bad
same
boy.
time, I felt the smell of wet carpet. I felt cold, scared, and excited.
All
It
at
was
the
as
same
if I was
time.
awake, as if I'd been transported to another world. Without fear, I walked the labyrinth of the back rooms. Everything was like in the legend. The walls were all the same. There was an aura of eternal disorientation, and my only companions were the lockers and the dead ends that occupied almost the entire maze.
Bro.
Was I at the beginning of the labyrinth? Was
You
I
never
about to
know.
leave? I began to panic.
never know.
This was no longer fun. I wanted to go back home. I ran desperately through the labyrinth. Maybe I could find the exit by chance. Seconds, minutes, and hours passed, and nothing.
Can't get out.
I fell to the floor in
My man is
tears,
stuck.
and at my worst
Stuck
moment,
in the back
a
rooms.
cat approached me. Hey, cutie, what are you doing here?
That ain't no normal cat, my friend.
Oh, honey, I asked for this, but I don't think you tried to come in here. We'll find our way out together, won't we?
Listen, bro. I got a cat.
Renewed
but,
with
like,
energy, I continued
that cat
looking for
looks
the
hella
exit,
scary.
much calmer and accompanied. A few minutes later, I arrived at another dead end, but with a particularity. There was a girl with her back turned at the end of it.
turn
Surely
the
she was
other
another
way
lost
and
person.
Go.
So I approached
That's what
her.
I'm doing.
Hey, do you need help?
My man's trying to riz
In
her up right
response
now.
to my call, the girl
What's good
turned
with him?
around. At that moment, I realized that I was the one who needed help.
Yeah. Like I said.
The girl had no face, just a huge hole surrounded by teeth in a circular shape. It was as if her face was a mouth.
Run.
I grabbed the cat and walked backward, slowly and carefully. The girl dropped her back to the ground, and before falling to the floor, she put her
Go.
hands on the ground and stood on all fours, as if she was a kind of spider.
Yeah, she looks like something I've never seen before in my life. And then she ran out.
In this position, it ran at full speed
I'm good.
towards me.
I'm good.
So I did the same. Whatever it was faster than me. So at a turn, I hid in a locker before it caught me. Hello? Anybody here? That voice
Oh,
was
no.
familiar.
Bro,
Was
his
it
boy's about to
Diego?
get eaten.
What was he doing here? I was about to open the locker to tell
He's
him
about
to
to get
run,
eaten.
but as soon as Diego was in my sight, it was too late. The monster came out of the corner at high speed, and standing in 2 kicks, sunk its teeth into his head.
Holy shit.
lifting him up and swallowing him as if there was a bottomless hole inside of that little body. The only thing I could do was stand in the locker
just
with the
watched
cat,
his best friend get
watching
eaten.
how that being was swallowing my friend in one bite, leaving no trace. To my
Holy
terror,
shit.
it wasn't over there. The monster walked in my direction. I felt the sweat pouring down my forehead, over my body and my head, until I realized that something was wrong. That wasn't sweat. I looked at my hands and arms. They were full of cockroaches.
What?
My whole body was full of cockroaches.
Why?
I felt them walking all over my face. There were more and more.
Why?
I looked down, and to my surprise, the cat had its mouth open. The cockroaches were coming out of it.
I told you.
At the time, I could see how horrible red eyes were watching me from inside
told
the
you,
animal's
bro.
mouth. That was not a cat. It was just disguised as one.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to scream, cry, and run desperately. I wanted to throw that horrible being out of my hands, but I couldn't.
Because that other thing's
I
gonna eat you.
looked up, and behind the locker, the monster was still there, standing against the locker, inspecting if anyone was nearby. I closed my eyes in tears and just prayed that everything would pass as quickly as possible. The behavior of the cockroaches had changed. They were no longer moving erratically. They were trying to get into my mouth,
That's
my
disgusting.
nose, and my eyes.
That's disgusting. I'm
They
going.
were all over
I don't
my
care.
face. I opened my eyes, and the being was no longer there. This was my chance. I rammed the locker while throwing the cat as far away as possible. I crawled across the floor, pulling some cockroaches out of my face and spitting out the ones that had gotten to my mouth.
Bruh.
With my eyes,
It was
I
right
forgot
there.
about the cockroaches. Behind the curve, the monster from before was waiting for
Bro,
me.
you gotta go.
He
You
had
gotta
set a
go.
trap for me. My first reaction was to run as fast as I could while the creature, on all fours, ran after me,
That's what I would've
getting
done.
closer and closer. As it was about to catch up with me, I saw a red door in front of me.
Run.
And I entered before it caught me with its huge mouth.
Did his friend die in real life now? Because he died in the back rooms? I don't know if that's how that works.
A strong light blinded me, and I felt an impact
how
on
that
my
works?
body. When I opened my eyes, I was full of mud, in the square, a few blocks from my house.
Wow.
When I entered my house, everyone was surprised. No one saw where I appeared from. No one saw me leave the house. I just appeared there.
That's weird.
I called Diego, but no one answered.
Oh, no.
Shortly after, his parents called me to ask me if I knew anything about him. A few days later, the whole town was surrounded by missing
He's
posters
dead,
with my
bro.
friend's face on them.
Wow.
No one ever saw him again.
Wow.
Since that day, I avoid thinking about the backrooms at all costs.
That's
for
crazy.
fear of ending up there when I dream.
That's actually crazy.
I regret the day I became obsessed with that damned place and provoking the beings that live there.
That's crazy.
I'll warn you once again. You can all end up in the back room. If you ever dream of that place, don't trust anyone or anything.
I
Just
will
look for the
not.
exit and run.
I promise I will not think about that. At all. At all. Story number 3.
When I woke up, I was in a hospital room, lying on a stretcher with the light on next to me. It
Okay.
took me a few minutes to understand what was happening or realize it, since I didn't really know why I was in this place. Hello? What I knew was that I was going back to my house, and suddenly I woke up there. But I
weird.
didn't feel bad. My body was in perfect condition. Hello? I need help! Even though I kept calling, no one answered me. In fact, it was too quiet for a hospital, but that wasn't the strangest thing. At first glance, everything seemed normal, but if you looked closely, you could see that the walls had dirt stains. After a while, I also noticed another detail. Instead of smelling like disinfectant and medicine, The stench reaching my nostrils was a combination of moisture and metal.
That's disgusting.
Without waiting any longer, I easily got up from the stretcher and walked towards the exit door. But before I could reach it, someone opened it. Tony? It was my brother. Hey, what are you doing? You need to rest. He walked over to me and pushed me
That's not
back
him.
onto the stretcher as I watched him.
That's not him.
It really was Tony.
No, it wasn't.
But I don't feel bad. What happened? My brother forced me to lie down. You had an accident. You should stay in bed even if you don't feel bad. That's what they told me. Tony kept smiling as he spoke.
Not him.
Who? What?
He's like a copycat.
Who said that to you? The nurses, of course. Where are they? I've been calling a lot of times and no one came. They're busy with the other patients, but don't worry. They'll come to check on you soon.
He's like some
The
copycat or
smile
something.
on Tony's face got a lot bigger. Meanwhile, I looked away and tried to get up again, but he put his hand on my chest and pushed me away. I told you not to worry. I'll be with you as long as necessary. That's not...
See?
You should rest too. You don't have to do this. Why? I'm happy to help my brother. For some reason, I was getting more and more nervous. This isn't like you. I pushed him away and quickly got up and walked back to the door.
Yeah, because it's not
That
him.
room was starting to suffocate me.
He's like a
as
copycat,
if I were
bro. He's like a
claustrophobic.
clone.
Finally, I moved the door handle, but before I could open it fully, he grabbed my wrist. You have to stay. Stop it, Tony. Let go of me. You
Oughta
have
sock
to
him.
stay to watch him. To watch him? I thought. You have to watch him die again, over and over again,
Bro.
until you can't take it anymore. Suddenly, right on my brother's head, a bruise began to form, and it didn't stop growing.
Bro, what the hell?
Slowly, it got darker and darker, until I noticed the wound was beginning to open through a scratch.
Bro, what the hell is
Tony,
going on
what's
right
going
now?
on? Brother... A lump formed in my throat the instant the scratch turned into a deep gash that split his head in two. You have to watch it again. But even so, Tony kept a smile while speaking normally.
Bro, this
You
is
have to
weird.
stay here. No! I soon pulled my arm towards me, causing him to release it. As
This
you
is weird.
want.
This is weird,
Meanwhile,
bro.
I stood frozen like a statue. By the time I reacted, half of its body had already formed. So
What is
without
that?
waiting any longer, I opened
What
the
is
door
that?
and closed it behind me. Shit! Soon, I began to run
What
down
is
the
that?
hospital corridor. The lights illuminated it perfectly. In fact, it was so shiny that it seemed like it was being cleaned every 5 minutes. But the smell of moisture and metal was becoming more noticeable. I'd been in hospitals before, so I knew I'd reach the entrance
I'm
at some
running
point.
as fast as
But
possible.
it seemed like the
Getting
hallway
out.
would never end. Even though I kept running until my legs started to hurt and I was hyperventilating,
That's on like a
there
loop.
was no end. Inevitably, I stopped and leaned against a wall to rest. Help! Please!
Nobody's coming to help you, my friend.
I
I'm
didn't
sorry.
wait for someone to come out of the rooms. I just randomly picked one and walked towards it. Fred! There, at the beginning or end of the corridor.
Oh my god, it's Tony.
Thing.
Holy
Do
shit.
you want to get out of here, Fred? There's only 2 ways.
Dude, I got the chills.
Quickly,
Not gonna
I
cap.
opened the door and closed it behind me. The room was lit, as was everything else, but the stench of metal was more noticeable here. Hello? I slowly approached the curtain that prevented me from seeing the stretcher
Oh,
and
no.
removed it.
Oh.
Shit! The stretcher was covered in blood
Holy
as
shit.
the person's stomach appeared to have exploded. Fred! It looked like that thing was right behind the door.
Hide under the bed.
Shit! Shit! Without many options, I entered through the other door that was in the room. I thought it would be a bathroom or a closet where I would be cornered, but it actually connected to another hallway. What? Fred! As soon as I heard that thing banging on the door behind me, I quickly backed away. I can't. I was starting to collapse.
Bro, I don't know what
when I
to do.
saw my salvation.
I don't know what
This
to do.
time, the corridor had an end where there were stairs.
What would you do?
I ran towards them, and just as I started to go down, I heard it again. Fred! Fuck you! Suddenly, I heard a strange sound and felt my foot hit something.
Oh no.
It was water. No. I couldn't get to the bottom floor, as it was completely flooded. No,
You better
no,
start
no!
swimming.
Fred! I didn't have to turn around to know that that thing was there. Suddenly, I felt something pressing on my skin. The entity was passing through my body, and even if it seemed like smoke, it hurt more than anything else in the
Holy
world.
shit.
I've got you! I thought I was going to pass out when I closed my eyes, but instead, I opened them. I was back in a hospital room. Everything was dark, but it seemed quite normal. The real problem was that that was all I could do. Watch. My body
he's, like,
was
fully
not
possessed.
responding to my orders. I wanted to move. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. Suddenly, I saw a shadow move in the doorway. I immediately started to feel my heart beating fast and
no.
sweat covering my skin. Not again, I thought. This time I couldn't escape. The entity began to climb on top of me until its face was right in front of mine. At that moment, I could see again its creepy smile formed by huge and pointed teeth.
Wow.
Fred, I told you there were only 2 ways out.
This is crazy.
This is not one of them.
This is
That
crazy.
thing opened its mouth and continued to approach me.
This is crazy.
Then, finally... Ah!
This is crazy. He
Almost
woke up.
immediately, someone walked in.
Are you okay?
The nurse didn't wait for my answer. Instead, she turned her head to the right and yelled.
He woke up!
I later found
was
out
in a
that
coma.
after my brother and I were in a car accident, he
was in a
died,
coma.
and I was in a coma for several days.
Oh shit, his brother died.
In fact, I soon remembered how I had seen him die. It's been a while and I've been able to recover from the
Wow.
trauma, but I still feel that something is haunting me.
So those stories were absolutely insane. The Backrooms is something I've covered on this channel before, but never in depth like this and never seen some crazy animations like that. If you guys are interested in the original videos, they're linked down below. But hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video, and if you did, don't forget to smack a like. That'd be greatly appreciated. Comment down below what else you guys want to see on the channel. I'm starting to upload regular videos a lot more as you guys see new setup and everything like that. So if you guys want a tour, 10k likes and I will do an apartment tour. With all that being said, my name is Chris, and of course I will catch you guys in the next one.